Hey, good evening everybody. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make turkey burgers that come out every time. Because if you've ever tried to make turkey burgers just from scratch without having a technique, you probably wound up, getting ground turkey in the pan that's stuck and wound up throwing the spatula and saying bad words after. Now, if you follow the technique I'm going to show you, they'll come out every time. Now, the reason I do it this way is because turkey is a very lean and a very wet meat, which means that when you fry it, lots of water is going to come out, and that's going to give it a tendency to stick and make it very difficult to turn and come out in one piece. Now, to counteract that, what I'm doing is I'm using panko, which is breadcrumbs, and it's a special kind of breadcrumbs. If you can't get these, you can use regular. It just comes out best if you do these. And I'm also going to be coating them in a batter, well, not really a batter, more a breadcrumb mixture made of butter and panko. And for seasonings, I've just got some salt and pepper, and I'm using a bit of poultry seasoning. You can just skip it all if you want and season it any way you like. The reason I use the poultry seasoning is because, I like that kind of like turkey flavor, and I do finish it off on hamburger buns with some mayo and some cranberry jelly, which I'll show you at the end. I've got about a pound of ground turkey here. I'm just going to set this in a bowl. And you can actually even hear how wet it is. Seasoning is not precise. I use about a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, which is a blend of spices that has that kind of Christmas, Thanksgiving stuffing flavor. If you can't get this, you can just use savory and sage. It'll work out fine. And I just give it a nice sprinkle of salt. You can use any kind of salt. A little bit of black pepper. And a quarter cup of panko. So just get in there with your fingers. You could probably use a spoon, but it's going to take a lot longer. Just wash your hands well. And what you're going to do is just mush that around with your fingers, turning it and squeezing it to get the spices distributed as well as the breadcrumbs. And you will notice in a very short time that all that water is just about gone. And what was damp, oozing ground meat is now sticking together quite nicely. So once you got that mixed up, shouldn't take very long. Just pop it in the fridge quick while you get the breadcrumbs ready. And get a small bowl and another quarter cup of panko and some softened butter. Now this is not exactly a quarter of a cup. I just eyeball it. If it's a little short or a little over, it's really not going to make that big of a difference. And start mushing it in to the crumbs with a spoon. That's why I didn't want to bother to wipe my finger. It's already clean, and I'm going to use it to scrape off the excess butter from the spoon. You can see that that's fairly well mixed. What you can do is you can just divvy it up in portions in the bowl right away. Okay, roughly. I mean, if you got a little bit more or less for each burger, it doesn't really matter, because this is going to make 4 burgers. So what you're going to do is chop that into 4 little portions, and then get about that much, which is a half of 1 chunk for each side, and I'll show you that in a minute. I got a plate to set these on when they're done. Now you are definitely going to have to get in here with your hands. So visually break the meat in two and then two again to get 4 burgers. And then just roughly flatten it into a burger shape between your hands. And you'll notice, if you've ever done these before with just regular turkey, look at this. It's not falling apart. It's great. Okay, so then get 1 bit of butter and breadcrumbs for that side. And if you've got kids, they'll probably love getting dirty and messy with this bit, and they can help you out too, which is always fun. And what you do is just mash the breadcrumbs and butter on one side. Get the other bit and repeat. That's why I said, yeah, don't worry, I mean, if you got a bit of crumbs left at the end or whatever, as long as they're all pretty well distributed, it's not critical. And then what you do is just lay it on the plate and finish them off. The burgers are all ready, and I've got a non-stick pan heating up over medium heat. So what I'll do is I'll just pop these in like that. For this, you don't have to wait till the pan is hot. It's just fine like this. And once the pan's heated up, and you can hear them sizzling away, just give it a brief shake. See, and you can see nothing sticking at all, which is nice for a change. Now, those are sizzling along quite nice, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them right away. You can turn these more than once, The reason I want to turn it now is to make sure that the butter and the breadcrumbs does not just run off while it's heating up, and that it locks it in on the other side right away. Yeah, these are not crispy brown, don't worry. I'll get that on the next flip. It's been a couple of minutes and time to flip them over again. Now, one thing I should point out before I do that, the nice part about this technique, and I will kind of zoom in so you can see here, look at what's in the bottom of the pan. The butter from the breading, not the water from the turkey, okay? So for all these people who are like OC on grams of fat and whatnot, it's not all going into the burger. Most of the fat is going back into the pan. So let me just flip this one here. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And I'll do the other ones and let those sit for a couple of minutes. And get the buns ready. You do yours however you want. What I like to do is I like to throw them in the toaster and toast them up just a bit, and then I'll get out the cranberry jelly and the mayo. You can put lettuce if you want, or tomato or whatever. I mean, I don't know, I find it a bit of overkill. The burgers kind of stand on their own for this. So we'll come back to these in a couple of minutes, and they should be done. With poultry, you always want to make sure it is cooked all the way through, okay? You do not want to be eating raw bird, turkey, chicken, nothing like that. So while that's sizzling away on the stove, I got a couple of buns prepared here. And I'll just put a dab of mayo on the bottom. And a little bit of cranberry jelly on the top for that festive flavor at any time of the year. Spread that out a little. Now let's check out the pan again. Give these one last flip, see where we are. Yeah. Now, So what you want to look for at this point to make sure is that there's no pink bits anywhere on any of these, and there's not like a bunch of clear juice running out. And you know what, if this is the first time you're cooking turkey and you take the first burger out of the pan, you cut it in half and it's not cooked, well guess what, just put it in and keep going until you get the hang of it. Okay, so let's plate up a couple of these here. I'll show you. And they even come out the size of the burger bun. Yeah, I think I might have toasted those a little too long, but oh well. Okay, so cut one of these in half to show you. So you can see that it's cooked all the way through and ready to go. Serve it with anything you want, some chips, a salad, just like that. That's how I make turkey burgers. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again.